There are no shortcuts to real growth, only choices, consequences, and the courage to begin again. Dear Professor, please allow me to remain unnamed. Just call me Hatim, once your student in Oman. And if this letter finds its way to others, I hope it serves not as a confession alone, but as a quiet mirror for those walking the path I once did. It was during the pandemic. The world had gone quiet, streets were still, screens were our classrooms, and life in many ways felt like a long, endless pause. But for me, it was the perfect excuse to drift. I remember your class well. I remember clicking the meeting link just to mark myself present. My laptop would be on, my camera off, and I'd be somewhere else entirely, sometimes in bed, sometimes on a mountaintop with friends and family, breathing fresh air, enjoying the moment, feeling free. At first, it felt harmless. The world was in crisis. Everything felt uncertain. So I gave myself permission to slow down. But slowly, that routine became a habit, and that habit became a lifestyle. I mastered the rhythm of doing just enough to pass, giving excuses that often worked, getting grades that didn't reflect effort, only timing and tactics. And the strange part, I was still doing well on paper. I was passing. I had learned to navigate the system, not the subject. Until it all changed, with one project. It was a major submission for your class. I didn't prepare, I didn't research, I didn't even try. Instead, I copied. The file was shared in our class group chat, and with minimal edits, if any, I submitted it as mine. I thought I could slide through again. But then you called me. Not to yell, not to embarrass me, but to ask, Hatim, is this truly your work? That one question felt like the weight of 1,000 truths falling on me at once, because I knew the answer. And I knew you knew it too. In that moment, I realized something I had ignored for too long. There are no shortcuts in life. No lasting ones, at least. Yes, technology makes things faster. Yes, we can find ways around effort. But what we miss when we skip the struggle is the transformation, the growth, the strength, the learning that shapes who we become. From that day on, I began to see things differently. I looked at my habits, my choices, and what kind of man they were shaping. And I didn't like the answer. So I changed, slowly, painfully, but honestly. I started showing up, not just on the screen, but in life. I started doing the work, not because it was required, but because I finally understood that effort is not punishment, it's purpose. To the young students coming after me, especially those shaped by screens and shortcuts, I say this. Convenience is a gift, but only when used wisely. It can make you efficient, or it can make you empty. Don't mistake presence for participation. Don't confuse a grade for growth. Real achievement requires more than just pressing submit. Show up for yourself. Do the work. Make the effort. Because what you build with honesty will carry you farther than anything you've copied. I don't write this from a place of pride, but from a place of change. Because I've learned that one honest step forward is worth more than 1,000 borrowed ones. Thank you, Professor.